O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
No music, no intro. We had to get our boy Travis song. Trav,
What up?
we had to get you on, man. I know you said you didn't want to talk. I hit you up. You said you didn't want to talk about joining the pod. But then before you get on the pod, so we got let's get you introduced to the people in case they don't know you. We got our boy Travis on the pod. Travis was actually a part of the Saints in a capacity of, I'll let you explain what you did for the Saints and how long you were with the team.
I got you. What up? This Travis. So yeah, I was with the team from 2014 to 2018. So 2019, actually, 5 years, 5 seasons. I worked as an equipment assistant. Also, I doubled as I used to help the defensive coordinators with like the personnel cards and things like that. So I was there for a good while.
One of my proudest moments was, watching the Saints game and seeing you on the sideline holding up the personnel defense. I was like, that's my fault.
Yeah. LJ out here. I was like, LJ out here. I was proud. We was proud, boy. We was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking. Because we've been following Trav so long. Just talking Saints, draft prospects, football, just on Twitter, and just to see him make that move on a slick too. Like he wasn't bragging about it. What I'm saying?
No, real humble.
Low-key, just humble, low key with it. So just to see that, man, we was just happy to see that, bro. Like just making moves.
Man, I appreciate that. That's my main thing, man. I always been humble with everything I did. It's nothing I strive to do. It's kind of just natural. So, I appreciate that, man. It took some hustling and busting. So, but I got I got my foot in the door.
I'm sure it wasn't no easy job at all, man. Like I've heard about those NFL gigs.
We first one in the building, last one to leave. So
Oh, so you was with Drew? No, I'm just messing.
Hey, actually, Drew's a good man. He's a good man. I can't say nothing bad about Drew.
So I know you didn't want to talk about him, but number 9 had to put the Instagram post off literally right before you came on. So
that's crazy.
So crazy. I can't let you off the hook now. Like we ain't gonna spend too much time on it because I'm done talking. Like I don't want to talk about it much more because I'm just doped out. I'm done talking about it, but. From someone who was on the team, like, can you just describe the whole week of you've been in that locker room? Obviously, we're not all the same players, but you've been in the locker room, and it's different with the coronavirus. But can you maybe explain to the listeners of what that locker room was feeling this week? Because that it was raw and it was personal.
Mhm. Yeah, judging from Twitter, it was pretty deep. A lot of players spoke out, even players who really close to Drew. So I was surprised by some of that. So I would say that I can't tell you what the locker room feel, but for me, I would say the locker room probably was just in shock. The whole NFL was in shock. You had people you got people unheard of names. People just talking about they circling the schedule or whatever. I'm like, kid, we don't even know you. We still the Saints now. Don't get it twisted. We still the Saints. But that was odd to see all those people, mainly Saints players, tweeting out eyes or different things of that nature, and it was just a shock. I was surprised. He even said that, really. So, yeah, it's been a crazy week, man. Crazy week.
Yeah, that was just The one that got me was coasting, man. Like I just couldn't get over that. The Malcolm Jenkins speaking out, that hit me too. But we know he's he about that. You know what I'm saying? He about that life. But Colston, like Colston don't say nothing, bro. Like he don't say nothing publicly, bro. So when he dropped that little IG, and you could tell it was him typing. I'm like, man, I know that. Like I can't read Drew Brees' mind or heart or nothing like that. But I know just as a person, him reading that, it's like, damn, Colston.
The quiet storm.
The quiet storm, man. Wasn't quiet this week.
I was like, what? Marcus Costa speak? If Marcus speak out against you, you did something wrong. Something hurtful that touched like a player of that nature who rarely even talks, who rarely even tweets, unless it's about business.
Right.
Yeah, that was deep.
Right. That was
deep. I'm surprised. I seen Reggie say something today, but I was kind of surprised Reggie ain't really, go up like Reggie go up quick.
Yeah, Reggie go up quick. I wouldn't be shocked if they had some kind of, back channel, you know what I'm saying? Off the cuff talk, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Trav, how, we ain't gonna spend too much time talking about Drew. How was your time with the team in terms of, your 5 seasons you was with the team? Like, how was that? And more importantly, like, as a, you grew up in New Orleans. As a fan, how was that kind of being a part of the team? Was it kind of everything you thought it would be, or was it kind of like, this is work, this is business? Like, was there like that separation for you?
For me, growing up with the team, growing up rooting for the team, always loving the team. I feel like it came natural and easy to me. Like I see the players and I'll be like, man, like, for the first little moment, I had a little culture shock a little bit, I would say. The first person I saw, it was in 2014. It was Tim Bailey. That's when it really hit me. I was like, damn, like this, like Tim Bailey, like legit Tim Bailey. And then, so I was interning during that time. So I was actually like driving the players back and forth from the facility to the practice field, to the hotels and stuff like that in West Virginia. So I had a couple moments. It was just me and Drew in the car, just us two. I'm in the front seat driving, and he's in a passenger seat. Same with Tim Bailey, but Tim Bailey was really the one who put that. Like I was like I was shocked. Like I was kind of scared to ask him for a picture. Like I actually have a picture with him. I was like, can I take a picture? But I know I was nervous. It didn't come out that. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, it's Tim Bailey. And then we actually became real cool. Like he'll hit me up. Like his wife or something come in town. I go pick him up and the kids, bring him to the facility. So it was great, man. I had a great experience. All the players were pretty cool. Seeing the locker room. I mean, you see the locker rooms in high school and stuff like that. So I was used to the locker room, but not an NFL locker room. So it was just like grown men. Like they essentially was no different from us. Like they talk about regular stuff that we talk about. They eat the same stuff we do. And they just mostly chill. Most of them have like hobbies outside of football, whereas rapping, like Teron Armstead, he always sends me his mixtapes.
Yeah,
Teron, like that boy got some bars. Yeah, he nice. He stayed. So, you had the players who was into cars, John Jenkins. He used to always show me his cars. Me and him became close. We started going to the boxing ring and stuff like that, doing training. So I got into boxing a little bit. So, I mean, I had a great time. Like, I had some stories, like a lot of stories, probably 2 minute stories in 5 years. So, I got some things I didn't see, some positive things, some negative things, but it was all well worth it.
Yeah, man. I could imagine the stories you have, and I mean, look, we ain't gonna stop you from sharing them, but I feel like I understand the position you in is, you as an employee and maintaining trust, Obviously that's a major thing. I was just curious because you was there at an interesting junction point. 2014. Obviously, that was the beginning of the 79 run.
79.
And then you were there, with the new draft class and the kind of reemergence of the Sean Payton, Drew Brees area in 2017 and 18. Did you see? Was it just talent? Was it just a talent thing, or did you see kind of a difference in the locker room with the type of players they brought in and the energy and all that stuff? Like, could you witness that from your vantage point, with your position with the Saints?
Yeah, most definitely. Talent wins. So not only just talent, that 2014 team versus that 2017 team when the 7-9 streak kind of broke off and we started winning. It was just the swagger the young guys came in with. Marshawn Lattimore, AK, like they just brought so much swagger. Mainly Marshawn to the defense. You can see like as he got into it, he switched his number. Actually, I helped him switch that number. At first he was 34. Initially as a rookie, he was 34, but it was funny. Soon he came, his rookie year, he came into the locker room, actually the equipment room, and he was like, he kept putting up 2-1. He was like, he won 21. He was like, well, I'm in this 34. So at the time they had Devontae Harris, he was 21. I was like, man, they already, that number is already
Ghost boy.
It's already taken. So he really wanted that 2-1. So one of the running backs got cut, and I was like, hey, 23 coming open. You want this 23, or you want to wait, to see if 21 gonna come open? Good thing he took 23 because 21 didn't come open. So he was like, yeah, for sure, I want that. So my boy got 23, and that's how he kind of got his number.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with 23.
You can't go wrong, man. And then he hated that 34. It was just like he didn't even have that same swagger. Once he got 23, it was like he just I don't want to say the Jordan moment, but he kind of just took off a little bit. He started bringing a little swagger, and the defense just fed off it. You could tell, like when he was in the lineup and not injured, the difference between winning and losing, because the defense was so good in 2017 versus the other years. So I definitely would say it was talent, and it's also like a mindset and mentality. It kind of started in 2016 with Mike Thomas, and then 2017 just took it to another level. It was like, okay, we got Mike Thomas, we got some more Ohio State boys, you had Mike and Vine, and then Marshawn came, so, and then Ted Ginn came, so it was just like so much swagger, and it was like, okay, this ain't the same 2014, 15, 16 Saints. We about to take it to a new level. So it was, it was some guys who was winning in college, and they came to the NFL with that same mindset. And then ever since, we've been looking up. We've been doing 11 wins, 10-win season, 10-plus win season. So it was definitely talent, but I would also say it was swagger. Also, it was a difference in coaching as well. When Coach Payton brought in all these different coaches, because he had a lot of coaches who had been on the staff since 2006. So it was continuity, but I mean, some things might have got a little stale. You dig? So they brought in fresh new ideas with new coaches, and all that played a part. Coaches and talent.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that kind of gets missed when kind of the national media do their analysis on the Saints on what changed and stuff like that. They just kind of focus on that 2017 draft class, but really they missed the point. There was that time, remember, like Sean Payton, he was kind of on the fence. I don't know if he was on the fence, but there was a lot of talk about him getting traded to Dallas, and his contract was coming up.
Yep.
And it was a big talk. And then at the end of the season, he had almost like a presser where he was saying, "Look, I'm not going nowhere." And then they brought in Jeff Ireland, and then I think it was either that year or the next year he got rid of Joe Vitt and the defensive line coach. Bill Johnson.
Yeah,
Bill Johnson. And they got rid of a lot of the old scouts. They brought in a new scout. I mean, they pretty much rebuilt the whole front office and coaching staff, especially on the defensive side. So that's pretty much a rebuild, and that really laid the foundation to where they are now.
Yep. It started with, I want to say, Dennis Allen. He came.
Yeah.
After the Raiders let him go, he came on as a consultant. That it was like it was early in the season, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So he came on as a senior defensive consultant, and then eventually that next year they started like getting people out of there who has been there for a long time, brought some fresh new ideas, some guys from college, some guys around the NFL, and they got a lot of continuity. Like you got Dan Campbell, a lot of those guys been with the Saints for a while now, so you could see like the talent, but also coaching. I think it went hand in hand. Can't forget about the coaching, and then front office as well, because they saw the talent and they got that talent endured. Because 2014 draft with the Kyrie Forts and stuff like that. That was bad. That was a setback.
Was that? Now, I could be completely wrong. Was that at that point? Was Ryan Pace still with the team, or had he left to Chicago already?
Ooh, good question. He was with the team. The Kyrie Ford draft.
Of course, he was.
That was Ryan Pace.
Yeah. that was a stamp from here. He was a part of that crew. I think after that's when they started changing.
Stanley Jean-Baptiste.
Because the first draft that Jeff Ireland helped with was the Pete draft.
Pete, right?
Pete draft.
Pete. It's the Pete draft. Yeah.
Pete and Stephon. Yeah.
Oh, well. can't hit on them all. You brought up Dennis Allen, and since you kind of towards the end of your season, you were helping calling out the offensive personnel for the opposing team. So obviously, what have you seen from DA? Because he gets his heat from time to time from fans. Some of it, sometimes is deserving. Sometimes I feel it's undeserving, depending on what it is. But what was your impression of working with DA?
My guy, he brings a lot of Greg Williams to the table. I will also say he instills a lot of swagger, because he just walks. He walks with a little swagger, like, yeah, I'm that dude. So the players see that, and then he's young enough to get through to those younger guys. So he brought a lot of swagger. He changed the defense. He was here with Rob Ryan. Then once Rob left, he took over, and the defense at first, I think it was kind of iffy, but years after that, they became much steady once he got to build like what he's entrenched in, and which is that the secondary. He's a secondary guy. So once he got his guys, like the cornerbacks, the safeties, and we just took off from there. He was running 3 safeties, all kinds of different formations. I think I would say he take more heat on 3rd and longs and 2nd and longs,
right?
Because we give up too much yards. But mostly when he's on his game, you can't complain. You're not gonna stop everybody. The offensive players get paid just like the defensive players get paid. So, I do like in 3rd and short, 4th and short, our defense tend to ball up.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it's 4th and inches, 3rd and inches, we was coming up with big stops. It didn't matter if it was in the middle of the field, goal line, none of that. I would only say, I would probably say that would be one of the fans' gripes, the 3rd and longs converting, because that's very, very frustrating. But it wasn't always on him. Sometimes, people have laps and different things and coverages, or the rush didn't get there. So it's give and take. But he definitely brought a multiple defense.
And it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because sometimes, Dennis Allen, he'll dial up like the perfect blitz on 3rd and long, and he'll get home, and it's like, wow, what a great call. But sometimes he'll call up a blitz, and it doesn't get home, and it's converted, and it's like, damn, DA, why would you call that pressure right there? Or maybe they'll play it safe. They'll play coverage. They'll play coverage, and the quarterback will take off on a run, for 20 yards and convert it. It's like, damn, DA, why didn't you cover the quarterback? But I mean, they were in man coverage, and when you're in man coverage, you get burnt by.
You turn your back.
You get beat.
Your back turn. You can't see the quarterback.
Right. But I was curious.
Give and take, but
yeah. But I was curious. One thing that, like, this past season, it really blew me away. I know you went with the team 2019, but just you as an observer, as a fan, like, there was that stretch with Teddy Bridgewater, and like you could just see kind of a distinct difference with the defense,
man,
during that time. Like, they were defending like every blade of grass. And I remember one of the commentators during the game was like, they talked to Dennis Allen, and he told the team that, like, this is our time to show what we could do. This is our time to show the defense we could carry the team. And they did. Like, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, we love the dude, and he did miraculous with what he could do, but it was the defense that kept those teams in the game. That way Teddy didn't need to score 25, 30 points to win. You know what I'm saying? So I was just curious, like, how does that work? Like, is it a motivational thing? Or do they just, like, when Drew's in the game, are they a little more aggressive? Is there like a different approach that the defense takes when when Drew Brees is in the game and they feel like, okay, the offense is going to score 27, 30 points, so we could get a little more aggressive. We could take chances and stuff like that. Like, is that true?
I mean, with a Hall of Fame quarterback like Drew, I feel like, your defense might have a few laps because they know Drew got our back. He gonna make up for the mistakes that we make. So they probably, going for the gusto. They was like, we're gonna go all out. Whereas I feel like when Drew was out, it was like, it's all on our shoulders. Like, the win gonna determine how we play, is gonna determine how we win. Whereas when Drew there, it was like, this is Drew's team. We are offensive team. We not to say we second fiddle, but when you think of New Orleans, you think of offense. So I felt like it was like they stepped up, the leaders, Mario, Cam, and they probably just like, it's our time to shine. Like, I mean, we shining, but we're not gonna get that praise because you got Drew Brees throwing, all these yards, all these touchdowns. So I felt like the defense was like, it's on our shoulders. Like, if we don't do our best, we're not gonna win. So I think that's the mentality they took up, and I feel like DA thrived with that. He was like, hey, it's all on our shoulders. So he put it all on the back. The defense put it all on their back. They was, like you said, was guarding every blade of grass. And your leaders was just balling.
Like, as
Mario,
we haven't seen anything like that before. I mean, not, it's been.
Oh, that was a dominant stretch.
It was dominant.
Man, I was just saying, and I was like, dang. Once Drew came back, I was like, the defense ain't had that same little. If they would have able to maintain that,
they didn't.
Oh my God.
They did, and I thank you for mentioning it, because I know I'm not the only one that noticed it. Ryan, we all kind of saw it, and I don't know if it was like, oh shit, Drew back, woo,
right, party time. you know when a teacher away and you got the substitute,
right?
And you like, you got to turn up.
That's the perfect analogy, bro. That's the perfect analogy right there.
They're like, we about to turn up, boy. We got the sub here. No real teacher.
Throwing pencils.
What?
All of it.
That's what I was liking it to. It was like, man, and then the real teacher came back and it was like, oh man, we gotta turn down a little bit. We can't do the same, we can't cut up like we was cutting up before. So,
man.
That's my take on it, how I felt. But if they were to maintain that, they ain't even have to be that dominant, but just
dominant.
like 75%, 70% of that. Oh my God.
I mean,
that would have been tough.
They did have, a rash of injuries. Cam, that 49ers game was
brutal. That's a bloodbath right there.
Like they emptied the clip in that game, bro. They emptied the clip and they didn't have nothing left,
None.
They did.
I want to talk to you about a player. I want to talk to you about Amar first. Let's talk to you about Marcus. Because he's still a player that, when he's healthy, we see the potential. For the most part, it's there. But
you talking about Davenport?
Yeah. Davenport. And I think he's always, kind of going to get that comparison, unfairly that, the Saints should have took Lamar instead of taking him or whoever, could have taken Derwin James or someone. Like, what as a fan, what do you feel he needs to do, not to justify, but just to get to where he needs to be as a player to be
a good question. Health first and foremost, and second, health again. Because when he's playing, that guy's he makes some plays and he don't just hit the quarterback. He boomsticks to the quarterback. That's one thing I like about him. When he gets to the quarterback, he's getting the ball out. It's not just a sack. He going for the trifecta. It's a strip sack. It's the sack, the strip, and somebody recovers the rock or whatever. So, if he can just learn to stay healthy, get healthy rather, play lower, of course, and keep working on his technique, because he got some good guys. He got a guy on the other side that he can learn a ton from. That he has already learned a ton from in only 2 years. So he got to stay healthy, man. His rookie year, he was coming on. He had went on a streak of 3 or 4 games with a sack, and then actually he got hurt. He messed the toe up on the sack. I think it was the Vikings game, Kirk Cousins.
Vikings game, yep.
Yeah, he boomed. I didn't think, I thought Kirk Cousins was going to get a first down on that one, I think it was. And he just ran them down. He's an athlete, man. If he could just stay healthy, the sky's the limit for him, bro. He's strong. He got to get some more moves for sure. Got to get lower. But he got a tool bag. He got a great coach. I love his defensive line coach. Great coach who's gonna work with him. But my main thing is he has to stay healthy for 16 games, and we got to see him in full form in the playoffs, because I don't think we have seen him fully healthy.
Oh, you haven't.
That's true, man. He has not been there for the playoffs 100%. So that'd be a huge difference. And Baldy, when we had Brian Balding on the podcast, he pointed out the same thing. The talent is there, we see it, but he got to start beating good tackles. He got to beat good NFL left tackles with special moves outside the bull rush, and he got to understand his leverage. He's a big dude, so he has to understand his leverage. So, yeah, I mean, we all see it. It's well, I think it was Bill Parcells or somebody that said, your potential going to get me fired.
Man.
You got to get past the potential. You got to show it. And I'm rooting for him more than anybody. I don't even care about the 2 firsts anymore. I just want him to get his 5th-year option and just be a good solid pass rusher. He could be Jadeveon Clowney, where it's just 9 to 10 sacks a year and making impacts and forcing fumbles and stuff like that. And disrupting. I mean, that's all I need.
I think he can be. I'm rooting for him. I can't wait to see year 3 with him. I seen him beat some good tackles now. Was it Trent Williams? Was it the Redskins? I think it was. He put a nice little mover on that edge on that boy.
And he
put some pepper in his chest. He put that shoulder down he's a bull in the China shop when he put that shoulder down.
He put it on Tyron Smith.
Put it on him.
Dallas game.
That's what it was.
It was late in the game. it was like late in the game last year when they played Dallas, and I think Dallas was pinned back a little bit, and man, I think Tyron Smith even got hurt. Like he held, like Tyron Smith got called on a holding flag. He just gave him everything, and that's hard to do to Tyron Smith. So we know it's there, man. We know it's there.
It's definitely in the toolbox. He gotta be able to pull that tool out and use it. I can't wait to see year 3, man. I think he's gonna have a good year. I need him to get 10 plus sacks though. Yeah. 10 plus sacks, at least 10 sacks should be the goal. But I know he's working very hard, tireless worker. And then he got, like I said, he got Cam. He got some other guys behind him, Trey Henderson. So I think if he stay healthy, he could probably get to that mark. He just got to start faster. Like, start the season off, like, week 1, getting sacks, getting disruptions, stuff like that. It's kind of like basketball. You know, you're shooting the ball, you're not hitting none of your shots. So you got to get a few layups in. So I feel like he got to get a couple of tackle for losses, batted passes at the line to get him going. But if he can start like from day 1, week 1, that could be like a telling for a great season if he stay healthy.
So, I got another one for you, T. So, at the end of the day, we're all fans. Like, that's what we are. That's what we've been for years. Do you feel that being with the team for 5 seasons, your knowledge of football and how you understand the game, whether it's, scheme, personnel, whatever, is at a different level now as a fan?
Oh, without a doubt. You cannot be in an NFL program and not learn something. Like, I was learning from both sides of the ball too, offense as well. So, like, I knew some of the intricacies, like, just of some of the calls. Like, I know if the numbers might mean, like, pass protection. I know, like, if it's, like, a certain type of motion. So I definitely feel like I learned a lot. And sometimes I just be watching the game. I watch the game when I'm watching defense. I watch the opposing team offense and look directly for personnel. I look directly. So 12 personnel, of course, is like 1 running back, 2 tight ends. So I'm always looking for that. Then 12, then 13, then 11, then 01, then 10. So I'm always looking at that. That I didn't do previously. I just, you watch the game, but you don't break it down. Like, let me see what personnel in. Because, when you don't have the all 22, you don't know what's in on defense sometimes. So I kind of be looking for personnel. So if I see one of them running back, 1 tight end, 11 personnel, I know the nickel's going to be in there. And you never know who's at nickel with the same. It could be Gardner. It could be PJ. You never know. So I look at it from a different perspective in that way. And I definitely feel like I learned a whole lot. But, offensive, like just learning Coach Payton or seeing Coach Payton offensive call and what type of motion this is. And then, like, some of the plays on goal line, I can kind of, when they come out, I can kind of sense what they're about to do, too. So I definitely feel like I learned a ton. Like, they got a lot of smart guys in the organization. So definitely learned a lot as a fan, as well as, just wanting to maybe go into coaching eventually one day. So definitely learned a lot. A lot of good coaches over there, man. They loaded. Like, we talk about players, but they loaded on the coaching staff, from special teams, like offense, defense, and special team. Like, this is a really, really good team, bro. Really good team. Like, they have they barely have any holes.
It's crazy.
Like, their depth is good. Their starters are good. Like, it's time to put up a shut up, man. Super Bowl or bust.
Real. Man, you pointed out something with the talking about the nickel. I mean, you have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, you have Malcolm Jenkins, you got P.J. Williams. I mean, they have a lot of P-Rob. I mean, they have a lot of quote unquote positionless players, and players that are kind of interchangeable. I mean, Da he could do some funky, some freaky little stuff.
He can cook.
Yes, he
He can
can.
cook.
Yes, he can.
He can cook.
Yes, he can.
Man, I got one for you, Trav. This is not really Saints related, bro, but we've been on Twitter for a little minute, and every now and then it'll come out of nowhere where they kind of hating on the West Bank, and you West Bank, you Algiers like me, Algiers like me, and I'll take it seriously, but at the same time, I'm just like, why they come at the West Bank, bro? Like we don't do nothing. It's that's not real New Orleans. That's last time I checked. If you in Algiers, you got to pay taxes to Orleans Parish. You know what I'm saying?
Orleans Parish, man.
That's New Orleans. I went to Orleans Parish Public School up here in Walker. So
shout out to Walker.
Shout out to Walker. You went to Car, right?
In the car, baby. Second to none.
That's Algiers. So I'm like, how you feel about that? Because this is a Saints Twitter podcast. How you feel about like this West Bank hate? Like, what's the point of it? Where it come from?
I don't get where it come from, man. And it's crazy. It's only when you in New Orleans. Like, if you used to like visit somewhere or move somewhere or go to school somewhere, New Orleans people all, they just click tight. No matter you from the West Bank or East Bank. It's always when you home though. Like people sitting on the West Bank. I don't know if they think we too good or something. I don't know what it is. But I would say the West Bank is holding it down. We got 5 straight championships?
Hello?
So if we gonna talk about the West Bank, you gotta talk about everything about the West Bank. The sports, we hold it down. Landry Walker hold it down in basketball. So I don't know what it is though, man. I don't know what it is. Even though I don't stay on the West Bank no more, but I hold it down for the West Bank.
NFL players, you had Keenan Lewis, years in the NFL. Mike Wallace, years in the NFL,
Kendrick.
All
from one school.
Man. That's all I got.
Man. That's all you got? Patrick Surtain.
Patrick Surtain Jr., you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Me hold it down, man.
I had to get that out there, bro, because it was on me.
Yeah, we hold it down, man. I don't know why they be hating on the West Bank like that. Shout out to the West Side, though.
Yeah.
What you know how I feel about how I felt about this player before we drafted him, but then we did draft him. Like how when you watch Zach Bond, and they're gonna ask him to, I don't know what they're gonna ask him to do. I don't know if he's gonna be a chess piece. I don't know if they're gonna try to make him weak. I
hope so.
I don't. I just get this bad feeling that they're gonna try to make this man like a permanent off-ball linebacker, and I don't like that. That projection just makes me kind of iffy. But like, what did you think of him? Out of Wisconsin, before we drafted him, and how he could, DA might be able to use him in the defense.
I'm hoping they use him as a chess piece everywhere. Like you can't just put him in one position, because in college he got after the quarterback. So
that's all he did.
It's a projection to make him an off-ball linebacker.
That's literally all he did.
Right. They had some players who transitioned, but they also was like super big, super athletic, like Anthony Barr. He transitioned. I thought he was gonna be more of a pass rusher, but he became, an off-ball linebacker. So I'm hoping they move him around, because the more people you can get to go after the quarterback, the better it will help this defense. And like as a whole, you already have a nice secondary, but if you can keep adding to that pass rush, you got Cam, you got Marcus, you add a third person in him. You got a few D tackles who can get after the quarterback, rush the quarterback. So I feel like I hope they able to move him around and not just put him at one position. But it's also the player have to be able to, do that, because you see your Alvin Kamara, he can do that.
Make plays.
Yeah, just go out there, make plays. I don't think they're gonna rush him as a starter. So, man, when you get your opportunity, your 20, 25 plays, just make the best of it, and just learn as you go. Because I don't see them year one putting him at a one position. I think they're gonna move him around, kind of like Chauncey Garner in his secondary. I mean, I really, when I watched the player in college, like I said, he got after the quarterback. He was kind of not T.J. Watt, but similar, but not as dominant as T.J. Watt kind of has been in the NFL, rather. But I feel like he'll be able to get after the quarterback as well as off ball. But I just wouldn't lock him into one position. Just seeing him from the projection. But eventually he might be able to be an off-ball linebacker. But you got to move that player around, man. You got to get him going, have some fun with him. I feel like DA would be a great guy who put him in a good position to succeed. Positioning players, that's what they felt going to.
You're exactly right, man. That's exactly where it's headed. Trav, I want to ask you about, because me and you talk wide receivers a lot over the years. And you have a real good eye for them.
About that.
I know, bro. But look, I wanted to look at Traquan. And just in your years of you've been there, you was with the Saints when they drafted him. You watched him over the years. Like, what is he like? If we could envision what Traquan could be with all his potential, say he puts it all together, like what would that look like in your eyes?
If we put it all together, I know he's in a limited amount of catches. He get a lot of touchdowns. He put points on the board.
He does.
He put points on the board. It's a number 3, number 4 receiver. If he had some injuries too. Like, he'll go like a couple of games and then got hurt. But if he puts it all together, I know he'll block for you. He has some good speed, good to great speed. He catches the ball at high points sometimes. He has to be more consistent with that, I believe. His rookie year, I felt like in practice he had a lot of practice catches where he extended his hands in traffic, but I haven't seen it, as much in games. So if he can put it all together, I can't think of a receiver he's similar to off the top of my head, but I feel like he can be a weapon in his offense. Drew Brees make everybody, be able to accomplish something on this offense. So he can bring something to the table, no doubt about it. But still, I was hoping for a receiver, even with Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
So maybe with Traquan not officially like the number 2 sort of receiver, I think he can do okay as the 3rd, 4th receiver.
Yeah.
But probably like 6, 7 options, because you got Jared Cook, you got AK, Manuel and Mike, and then somewhere in there 20, 25, 30 plus catches somewhere. But he can put points on the board without a doubt.
All right. Then you got Jared Cook and Adam Troutman, who they drafted.
Troutman.
Who could be something. We'll see with the short off season, but I agree, man. I'm just, since we didn't draft a wide receiver, I'm just kind of hoping I'm not expecting, like a big year, but if he could just be that consistent 3 or good 4 good catches a game, make plays, that'll be good.
He had in a game this year. I can't remember what game it was, but he was starting to go off. Actually, he got hurt that game.
It was the Rams game. Was it the Rams
game?
Yeah.
Was it Rams?
Yeah.
It was with Teddy?
Yeah.
It might have was with Teddy, yep.
Yeah, it was.
He was looking like he was about to get it going, and then the injury happened. That kind of slowed him down for the rest of the season.
So since we're on receivers, I won't bring this up. So during training camp, last training camp, all the hype, started happening for Emmanuel Butler, right? It was getting high.
And here Travis was in my text saying, slow it down.
You see it. I ain't see it.
Slow it down a little bit. And I was like, Travis, like, everybody's on it. And so you were 100% right. In what you saw.
It's only 1 year, though. Right. It's only 1 year, though.
Right, it was. So I'm just not trying to, we're not trying to bury, Butler on anything.
Yeah.
But I want you to, like, maybe explain to the listeners just, again, this is not like criticism, but like what, as a person who is a fan and also have been with the team for 5 seasons, like what didn't you see that kind of gave you that pause?
I think it was just the fact that we didn't have like a ton of other receivers. I think it was just I really didn't get the hype. I felt like
it was like a thirst.
Caught the ball.
Like a receiver thirst.
For the next big undrafted person. And I feel like, he was that person. It was like, because, every year we was going like, all right, Pierre Thomas and Kyrie Robinson. So it was always normally running backs, but just in general, it was like, which undrafted guy would be that guy this year? So I felt like people kind of like this. He caught the ball a few times, and it was like, okay, let's run with this guy. But I just ain't see it. I felt like I don't know. It was just the speed aspect of it. He didn't look sudden to me. He just didn't look sudden to me. And then once the injury happened, and then he came back in preseason, it was just like, well, I don't see it. Where's that? I'm looking for it. So it's just one of those things. The speed, and it's not all about speed, but by him being a bigger guy, you would think, some kind of way to get separation. I just didn't see the separation, and I didn't see the Marcus Colston either, like some people was comparing. So I just didn't see it. Like the feel is one of those things you kind of feel like, okay, he giving me glimpse of something. I felt like it was just that we was thirsty for somebody to come in, especially an undrafted person, because we hadn't drafted a receiver. So I felt like, everybody like, that's the guy I'm going with. And then he was getting the hype train. Then everybody was like, yeah, I'm picking him. And then it just never materialized. And then you had other receivers come on the roster last year who, like LaJordan, and then the guy Hogan. Yeah. So
Rashawn.
I'm like, what, where my guy at? Y'all told me was gonna be, doing all these good things. So hopefully this year, because there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for is the opportunity. So they didn't draft one. There's a great opportunity for one of those guys to step up. So he's gonna be in the running. He's gonna be one of those guys fighting for those spots. But I would say I like to see Deontay Harris see what he can do at receiver, because he showed me some things.
Yes.
Like that 1 3rd down catch, it was like 3rd and long. He caught like a little short 3rd, and he caught it probably like 3 yards, 5 yards down the field and got that first down. I was like, he can be one of those type players. And the one when he did the double route, it was kind of like the Super Bowl when, what's the guy name for the Falcons? Taylor Gabriel. It was kind of like a route like that when he ran the double move. And I want to say Taysom threw the ball.
Yeah. He for sure did.
And he caught it right. Yeah. So that guy, he showed me some things. I was like, okay, he's sudden, in and out his breaks. He catch the ball and he immediately going up the field. So when he get the ball, it's almost like a punt return.
Yeah.
So I would like to see him at receiver get some burn. I think he will. And I ain't talking about just like reverses and things like that. Like you can throw him a little bubble route, a flat route, and see what he can do. Make nothing. Makes something out of nothing. So, but I didn't see it with your guy, man.
Yeah, and in a recent interview, Deontay Harris, he was saying that he's really wanting to get on offense and cook on offense. And Taylor Gabriel was a good, that's a good mention, because I think he could be at least immediately. I think he could be that type of guy where no, he's not catching 80 catches or nothing, but it's just giving you big spark plays, 1 or 2 times a game, plus what he brings in the special teams aspect. So I mean, man, that's that's huge. If you just get that twice a game, man, that's huge. Not to mention the special teams.
Huge. Especially with our offense, because we haven't had that type of offense in a long while. Be more of a short, drive down the field, methodical, run the ball, boom, boom, boom. But he gives you that spark. Yep. There you go. So he gives you that little spark that we haven't had in a while.
I wanted to ask you, like the past couple seasons, this is my last one for you, by the way. It's like, after the Saints win, they got the globe light, the globe light in there. They got the club music playing. They playing, Hot Boy Around, or they playing, Chopper Style, or they bumping. They got the video of coaches dancing, everybody dancing. Where that come from? Like, was that you? What sparked all of that?
No.
DJ Travis.
Oh no, I know who the DJ is, but it wasn't me. I might have told him a few songs he might can run. He'd be like, "What I gonna play? What I gonna play?" I'd be like, "Man, you better ask."
Like Sean Payton, he usually ran a tight ship. Wasn't really all that, going on in the locker room and stuff like that. But the past couple of years, it was like, just from the outside looking in, it just looked like, man, they having more fun. Maybe it's just because they've been winning. They've been the most winning team the last 3 years. But they just, it looked like they're having fun. And I was just like, man, wonder what changed,
Man, I just think it was the younger guys, like, re-energizing the organization. I go back to that. Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, that was like the bond they had, the interviews they was doing, it was just like so much swagger. Like, then I can't remember how it started, but I know we started with like a little small speaker, and then it has grown. Like coach, like they really went and got like a big speaker with the strobe lights, got the smoke. Like it started off very small, man. Then it just eventually moved up. Like, so I just think it was the swagger of the young guys that re-energized the whole organization. Coach Payton dancing. It kind of started the playoff years. It kind of started, and then the following year it started happening after every win, especially like on the road. And nothing like winning on the road. So like we'll play. If we playing a California team, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Rams, after we would win, we would play like music. That first song when we come into the locker room would be like something California. If we go to Atlanta, it's gonna be something like regarding Atlanta once we win. So it was just like something that kind of started at home, but then on the road it just took off to a new level. And like I said, they advanced. They got bigger speakers. They got strobe lights, and the players love it. They love it. Like, they love to see like the coaches dancing, just having fun, because that's what it's about, man. They take so much like time away from your family, and just you just grinding it all out. So the whole week, and then Sunday is like when you just like finally exhale, like, whew. And then the music and all that, and then you get on the plane, fly back, and then you getting ready for the next week. So it was just one of those things where it was like, a relief. Like, we worked all week, hard all week for this day to come, and we did what we did in this week. We brought it to the game. We won the game, so we're gonna celebrate, because it's gonna come a time when we might not be here, or we might not be winning. So you got to capitalize on that moment, and you got to have fun in that moment, because like I said, it's always the next game. Sometimes you just got to sit back and enjoy what's happening in the now, opposed to looking to the future. So it was one of those type things. I think that's what kind of sparked it. And then you got the other team started doing the club dubs and all that swagger jacking, like always, just like our pictures taken.
Yeah.
You dig?
Oh man.
But the Saints is stamped. Like, a lot of stuff that people are doing, they got it from the Saints, or they want to come to the Saints to enjoy those type things. So like Coach Payton, he really a good coach. He knows the fine balance between the two. You gotta have fun, and you also gotta, he rides that line fine. He work him hard. We win, then we have some fun time. So it was all worth it, man.
This is the last one. We get you out of here. We could talk Saints, just football in general, all damn night. But
Yes,
do you have a story that's appropriate that you could tell to the listeners on the pod? Nothing that like violates locker room code, nothing violates coach code, anything PG that's appropriate to share with the listener.
Let me think. I got a lot of stories, but let me think that would be not too close to the vest. Man. I don't know, man. If you used to ask me off record, I probably have plenty stories. But I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. Good Lord. Why you gonna hit me with that one?
The last one. I gotta say the hardest for the last one.
I'm gonna just end it with this. It's not really gonna be no story or anything. I'm gonna end it with my time being there was like super fun. Like meeting all the players, having connections with the players, going to parties with the players. So there's a lot of good things that happened. I can't think of no story that would be PG-13. If I think of one, I would probably like tell y'all, I'll just tweet it out so y'all can, digest that. I can't think of a story, like for real. If I had one, it's probably gonna be rated R. It ain't gonna be PG-13.
Okay, I have one that's okay. So I'll make this my last one because it's a personal one for me. Mm-hmm. I know Ryan might roll his eyes because he's like, I heard this nigga go again. But I'll ask it anyway. What was the mood? And I don't even know if you were there. Of obviously not in the draft room, but when
I know where you're going.
Just
where you're going.
Just give it to me because I'm not gonna even finish the question. Just give it to me.
From my knowledge, that could have been the route we would have went had that team not jumped in front of us. But that's from my knowledge. But who knows? I'm glad he's driving. He's a great player. Probably gonna be one of the best to do it. One of the best to do it. Shout out to him. I ain't gonna say his name though, because I don't want to stir it up.
Nope.
I ain't gonna stir it up.
Nope.
Shouts out to him, because that boy good.
That boy good.
That boy, hey, he good. Sexual chocolate. That boy good.
Have you been to any games since you're not with the team anymore?
I haven't. Seeing it from the sideline though is a different view versus seeing it from seeing it up top. The sideline you can't really see everything like that goes on.
No.
You hear some things, but you don't really see some things, especially when you're working. So I was on the personnel, so I'm like pretty laid back, but I'm also like during the game of football, I'm pretty like riled up, emotional. So I would say you can't see everything. Like you might want to focus on the D-line, but you can't really watch the whole game from the sideline. Working as a coach, it's probably a little different perspective, but I haven't been to a game, but if they allow us to go to games this year, then I plan to go. See it from a different point of view from the stands, see the whole field, all 22.
All 22.
Yep. What y'all doing with this podcast is great too, by the way. Keep it going.
Oh man, we
Salute
appreciate
y'all.
that. Yeah, we appreciate
Salute
that,
y'all,
man.
kings. 2 black kings, man. Keep it going. I'm surprised. Adam's still doing it because
Yeah.
he be like with it. You know how it be, but
You know,
I'm proud of y'all, man.
Our first podcast was supposed to be our only podcast.
it was.
Hey, I heard that on that first podcast, like one time only. Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny
I like
is
it though. I'm enjoying it.
It was, and then we started getting more people on, and at this point it's like, man, I can't, I'm having fun again, you know what I'm saying? And that's, at the end of the day, it's about having fun. And if I wasn't having fun before, I'm having fun now, which is that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
And that's what my goal was when the first one started, was to just get on, chop up, and have fun. And then it wasn't fun. And so, it's funny because I hit up Ryan. I said, man, I got Tony. He'll talk to me, but like I don't have a podcast anymore. Like I didn't have anything. You know what I'm saying? I was like, let's just talk to Tony, see what he's hearing at the the draft. And he's all right. I got you. And then from there, like it's we just having fun, man, and that's all it's about, just having fun. Life is short, and as black men, like we don't have a lot of outlets, especially with the current status of the world. So when there's an opportunity to have fun and talk about football, talk about the Saints, and I think all of us can say, none of us are super attached to the team anymore. And I think that's what makes things drastically different. Like you may, I think you coming out working with the team and being a fan again, like you don't have that diehard connection. Like, of course, we're going to watch them, we're going to root, we're going to hope they win. But if they don't win, it's like, all right, like what's for dinner tonight? Like what's going on tomorrow? Like it's not like something like we were just in our feels about when the team loses. And that's been a huge thing for me, and I know it's been a huge thing for Ryan.
To speak to that fact, I agree. Same here too. But like just being in the organization, learning from Coach Payton how games are like won, like you see a different perspective too. Like when you lose, it's not as bad as when. Before I got with the team, I'd be like mad, don't want to talk to like Wednesday and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Being in the organization, Wednesday was like my cutoff day. That's when I was back to I'm gonna start getting back to my normal and get ready for the the next week. So my first year I was like that too, but eventually I learned like just watching them and just watching the players that it's not all bad when you lose. You're not gonna win them all, but I never had that mentality before because I was like, we gotta win. If we don't win, and I don't know. I would also say, like far as the winning, the way how you win and how you lose, Coach Payton talked about that a lot too. Like far as like you're not gonna win every game as a blowout. You might score 40 points, but you might need 42 to beat that team that day. And then there's other games when it might be you need your defense to step up. So it might be a 9-7 game. You dig? So I learned the game not gonna be perfect. So each game is different how you win. So like I said, some games you might have to score 40. It might be the shootout like the San Francisco 49ers game.
Oh, God.
Other game might be real low. So like just going through the organization that taught me how to, because I used to be like, well, we got to get this certain amount of points. We got to get this certain amount of yards. Like, so he always talked about stylistically, you're not going to always win the same. And each game different. Each game plan is different. Each team you play different. So you have to be able to balance that, switch up your game. So he always talk about like, well, we lost 10-9. Well, that just means offense need to score one more point. It was a 42-14 41 games. That just means defense needed that one more stop. So I kind of learned a lot, like just hearing him always preach that, like, it don't have to be perfect. That was this thing he always said. It don't have to be perfect. It don't have to be perfect. So that helped me a whole lot, like for us, like with wins and losing. I used to be like, man, I'm mad. Like I can't talk to Wednesday. Like, don't tell me nothing.
Nothing.
So now, like just watching the games last year, I had a whole different perspective. Like we win, I'm like official. So it's no too high, no too low. Even when we lost, I was like, all right, we bounce back.
Yeah.
We're gonna bounce back the next week because each game different. Each week is different. So I learned a lot in that aspect of winning and losing.
Right. And I'm the same way now. Like after the loss, like even after the Vikings lost, everybody was all pissed off. I was pissed off like for like a little minute, but then I just went back and just trying to figure out why we lost. Like, okay, what went wrong here? And I was like, okay, let's time to start looking at the draft.
Yep.
Moving on, you know what I'm saying? Like
same way. It wasn't the end of the world, you know.
Nope.
So that's great. Like, you know, love the team, still love the team, but the attachment of it.
So
once you take that out of it, it's a big difference.
It's blissful. So if you're listening to this podcast, I know that both Ryan and I have tweeted about this a lot, you know, since the NFC Championship. We cannot instill this in you enough. That emotional attachment, like, you know, when you sever it, I feel like you enjoy it more. Like it's like, like, okay, game popping. When they win, they win. Like, you know, when they lose, and it's just football. You know, at the end of the day, they're always going to be the Saints. We're always going to love the team. You know, I don't got a Fleur de Lis tattoo on my shoulder for nothing. But it's not make or break it. And that realization for me, which took decades, but it's been so refreshing, you know, over the last 2 seasons.
Players as well. Players come and go, so the Fleur de Lis still gonna be there. So a lot of people get attached to the player. Don't get attached to the player. Be attached to the team, you know.
Imagine being attached to Drew Brees this week.
You are in the dumps. Like you're floored. Yeah, so
go ahead.
Actually, I think that's gonna ease. That's gonna, you know, eventually just gonna be his, you know, either this year or next year gonna be his last year. I think it's gonna ease the pain. Like once
That's a good
opposed to like years ago.
Yeah.
People was like, hey, Drew gonna be gone. Like
it's
I'm
over.
Gonna be crying.
Right.
I don't think it's gonna be no crying.
That's
not as much crying.
Excellent point. I keep saying last one, but I forget that you're an FSU fan. You know, Florida State. That's your college team you root for. Like
that's my college team, baby.
So, you know, what's your whole take on the? And I know what the answer is, but I want you to kind of back it up. The whole Jameis Taysom debate.
Dynamic debate. I don't know, man. I know Jameis, super talented, number 1 pick for a reason. Threw for 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. Insane, right? He also threw for 30 interceptions, but I think he's gonna have a great shot to be the leader of the future. And then they still might draft a quarterback to bring to the table, because like Coach said, we in a quarterback business. We gonna keep looking for a quarterback. So I think if he can sit and learn, win it, if he do get an opportunity, kind of like Teddy Bridgewater did, I think he's gonna drive. I don't know if that's homer talk or what, but I think he's gonna drive. If he can cut down on the interceptions, I know at the offense he was in, they threw the ball down the field a whole ton. Whereas this offense is a little different. It was more about timing and, you know, the little small intricacies. If he get that down, I think that dude could be like pretty good in this offense. I like Taysom a whole lot. I just haven't seen him enough as a quarterback. So if I had to choose, which I don't have to choose, I got to see what James could do, because he got more skins on the wall. He's younger. He got 5 years experience, and he truthfully never had like a dynamic where he can be the backup, learn from a Hall of Fame quarterback, learn from a Hall of Fame coach. When he came in the league, he came straight as that guy. He didn't have no hell of a player under him or over him teaching him the ropes and anything. So it was like trial by error. So he's gonna learn so much in this 1 year that could be, extend his career for a long time. Like, cause the guy got talent, man. You not throw for 5,000 yards and not have talent. So it's there. He just got to find a way to stop making the crazy mistakes that he's been making. And then, it's also about style. If you get in the right style, the right system, you can thrive. So I feel like this can be a right system, a right style for him to thrive. So, I mean, I would like to see if we have a preseason. I want to see him get in the game and show why he was the number one pick.
Man,
and show why he was the number one pick.
It's going to be so interesting, because we don't know how long of a preseason we're going to have, even if we have one. And that whole dynamic between him and Taysom. And I've been saying this since before we got Jameis Winston. I said if he is in the Saints building, he's going to be the most talented quarterback in the building.
Yes.
No
and some people came at me, I'm just talking about like from a quarterback standpoint, as a ball thrower of the ball, he's going to be the most talented, even more than Drew, even though Drew is, on the next level as far as accuracy and stuff like that. But when Sean Payton is standing behind the offense at training camp and watching that ball come out, with Jameis throwing that ball coming out, you know what I'm saying?
Coming out.
And it's getting there. And it's getting there. And he got eyesight now.
He got the LASIK.
Man,
he got the LASIK.
Boy.
And he in the Superdome, bro.
And he in the dome.
He's in the dome.
No wind, none of that stuff, man. I'm telling you, bro. It's going to be something, man. Like, I know Sean Payton. I don't know him, but I know Sean Payton going to be looking at him like, I could do something with, that Birdman hand rub. Like, I could do something with this here.
Yes, he can, bro. There's a lot of talent in that arm. Matter of fact, I seen him post a video the other day, and he threw it like a dime, probably about 50, 60 yards down the field on a run. I don't know if y'all seen that.
Nah.
Yeah, I think it was Instagram. I'm going to go I sent it to somebody.
Yeah, I saw it. You sent it to me.
You saw it?
Yeah.
My God. I was like, bro. I mean, I know there's no players out there, but still, just the arm talent to get that ball and and get it to that player on a rope in stride.
And he a goof. I call him a goofball all the time. He's goofy, but he's not he's not dumb. He's not a dummy. He's not a football dummy.
Oh no, he's a football savant.
He's an intelligent football player. So if he is able to pick things up and show that football intelligence and grasp, and really just sit under Drew and just listen, just like Drew is gonna have to listen to us. He gonna be good, man.
He is, bro. I'm intrigued to see him play, man. I hope he get an opportunity to play preseason this game, maybe even regular season.
Man, I would be shocked, and maybe I'm wrong, but like Ryan said, I would be shocked if Sean Payton sees the arm talent, sees the potential in training camp, what preseason, whatever. He's like, oh, my playbook's not limited. Like, I don't have to bring another quarterback to throw like a 50-yard pass anymore. And I mean, that's not that's no shot against Drew, but let's just be real. Like, when there's a deep shot, like usually it's Taysom throwing the ball. I would be shocked if Payton sees Jameis and he doesn't say in his head, like, man, we got to get him back next year. Since this is probably next year. Like, we got to do, he could be the guy. And if he's not the guy, he can at least be like a serviceable bridge. Like, I don't know, man.
I think he got a real strong shot. He's in the building. He just has to, with the short off season, it might be tough on him. But like you say, he's a savant, so he's gonna put the work in. He's gonna put the work in. He's gonna learn that playbook, and it's gonna be him and Taysom. Let's see what y'all can do. Let's see what y'all can do. Y'all the two quarterbacks next up, possibly, because this could be Drew's last year. And then y'all gonna determine if they add another quarterback to that. So I can't wait to see it, man. I'm happy we took that guy, man. Especially for that deal we got him for. You cannot like the deal. Like
Stealing.
come on, Stealing, bro.
I think
stolen bases.
I think Joe Flacco might be getting paid more. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, bro. Definitely. What's your other guy name? Nick Foles for sure getting paid more.
Way more, yeah.
Yeah. He got traded, so he's still on that contract he had.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't beat that. You go from paying, you had paid Teddy, he was the highest paid backup, to having one of the better backups, and he one of the lowest paying backups.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
All right, Travis, we're gonna get you out of here, man. We're gonna not try to not talk about football. Thank you for coming on, man. Put your Twitter out, so people can follow you.
You can follow me at Daigoson. It's Daigoson. So once again, it's Daigoson, Daigoson. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Man, you need to tweet more. You need to tweet more. Like, you could be the new Move the Sticks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, man.
Like, bro, you got, like, you always had plenty of knowledge, football knowledge. I'm like, you really need, you be in the DMs talk. I'm like, man, put that on Twitter, man. Like, you.
I know, but you know how I be.
When I know. When you was with the team,
Right.
I'm like, man.
You start, get your own little entrepreneurship going out here. Come on, T.
Hey, y'all inspire me. Y'all inspire me, because that's my first love, man. I love the game of football. So, man, you never know in the future. You never know what the future might bring. So,
for real,
if that comes about, I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
You got a spot here,
I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate that. Anytime y'all need me on again, I'll come on. Maybe I have some stories next time.
you gotta screen them. You gotta screen them first in your mind.
Yeah, I gotta screen them. But I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Keep doing y'all thing.
Appreciate it.
And keeping us informed. Y'all been having some good guesses, some great guesses. Yeah, Baldinger, like I'm feeling that, man. Y'all big time. Yeah, big time.
If things go right, we got Davenport coming on next week.
So man, that's my guy.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Davenport.
He might have a story.
Oh, I know he got stories.
he
might have a story.
He gonna let
that's my guy, bro.
Yeah, we gonna chop it up though.
Yeah,
I am.
I hated that number 40, but that's my guy. I told that boy. I told him, I like, son, change that number.
Change that number,
man. I wore it the whole preseason, So he kept it. But I was trying to get him out that number.
That shit was
I was trying to get him out. Yeah. That's my dude. He a cool dude, bro.
Yeah, I love that dude, man.
Cool dude, man.
Well,
so I can't wait to check it out next week. That's next week, you said, sometime?
Yeah, next week.
Hopefully it all goes well. I think Ryan and I just have the mindset of, just in terms of like dating or life, like we got to shoot our shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're on Twitter and your DMs are open, I don't care who you are. Like, I will jump in them and say, hey, can you jump on the show? And then what's the worst that's going to happen? No.
Yes or no, right. That's all.
Okay. That's it. And so, that's, Ryan and I have just been doing that. And it's led to a lot of just great, fantastic guests coming on the show, just having just meaningful football conversations. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, just having meaningful football conversations. Because that's all, love the game. We all do. So, we're going to keep doing it. We hopefully, our main goal is to get, Sean on here
one day. You know, he done got very Twitter finger happy lately, so
he's funny on Twitter too.
He keep bugging him, but no, we have fun with him, man. And you know, we had to get you on. You know, you like family. You know, saw you at the Shamrock. You know, when I was there, I think for the Broncos game, the night before the game, like, you know what it is, man. You family, so.
Oh yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. I'm surprised you say Ryan showed up. He showed up for Shamrock. They been giving you trouble, all right?
Yeah, bro, man. Look, I'm a flake. I don't care. I'm a flake, bro. But I show up, man. I show up sometime. You hear me?
I got you. It be like that. Like, your intentions be like, I'm going to go. But then when it's time to go, you be like, I don't feel like going. I understand. I'm a homebody, too. I understand, right? People gotta work.
The worst is, so that I get, right? But the excuse for Ryan doesn't make sense because usually, obviously, when I come into town, like, I'm coming miles away. So it's like,
You know I'm coming.
Adam let me know 2 months ahead of time. Look, this is the date I'm coming.
I will send Ryan my itinerary, like, yo, nigga, I'm there. don't flake on me when I'm coming from LA. Like, stop it.
I can't make no promise. I can't make promises.
My dude coming from the West Coast, man.
You know, Ryan just shrugged his shoulders. He said, you know, I might be there, I might not, man. I can't tell
you. I feel you on that, man.
All right, man. We're gonna get out of here. It's getting late. It's Friday night. Let's let you get out, enjoy your night. But thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Trav. Take care, brother.
You too. I see y'all on Twitter.
All right, bro.
All right. 100.
Peace.
All right.
Catch those springtime vibes all over Arizona. Break out of the winter blues by hitting the water at one of our lake and river parks. Take a hike among the wildflowers. Just make sure to stay on the trails and leave the flowers for the bees. Discover Arizona's best kept secret and visit azstateparks.com/amazing to start your springtime adventure.
O'Reilly! You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly.